Yo.
What up, what up, what up?
What's happening, Pastor Jeff?
You already know, Pastor Todd.
It is. It's the first Sunday of spring.
Man, it's the second day of spring.
Right.
And, I smell some stimulus checks in the air.
Stimmy. Clap your hands and stimmy.
Your hands.
It is the season, man. This is the best springtime, tax time, bonus time, stimmy time ever. What's up, y'all? Everybody coming in. Make sure you like and share and comment. We see our regulars on. Alex,
Dave Johnson,
Rashad. Man.
Bless y'all, man. How y'all doing?
Bruh, it was a beautiful day up here in Northeast Ohio. You know, man.
Listen, you know me, you know, I'm a pastor biker. You know, I was out on my motorcycle, man, and you know, I just so happened to peep that everybody got 30-day tags, man.
Listen, man.
I'm like, how everybody get new cars?
It's a shortage. First it was toilet paper and Lysol. Now it's cars you can't find.
I was
Jeff
like,
is out there peaching and peeling.
I said, everybody got a new car, man.
Right. What
you gonna do with your stimmy, man?
You know, I'm gonna try to do some house stuff, man. You know, try to do some house things. You know, get some things done. You know, catch up on a few things like everybody else needs to do, and then maybe I'll go buy a giraffe or something, or
is it a giraffe? Not a giraffe.
I'm gonna ride a unicorn to church for Easter.
Yes, sir.
What you got going on, man? What frivolous, ridiculous thing are you gonna buy with your stimmy?
I'll be honest, man. I have absolutely no need of anything.
All right, Jeff. All right, Uncle Pennybags.
I just don't. I don't. I mean, I have no. I'm just gonna put it in the bank, I guess. I mean, I'm only working 72 hours a week.
They got you working in Oopa Loopa land over there.
I'm like, my God. I'm like, give me some time. I pay y'all to give me some time off.
No, Lord. They saw that motorcycle doc and said, "Oh, we got to work this brother. If we don't work him, he'll never come in."
Man, I'm trying to tell you.
Man, it's stimmy season, Jeff, and it's going a little wild. Now, there's a few observations I think we should make about stimmy season. First of all, there's two camps of people I'm noticing on social media. Pastor Osborne, I know you see these people, Lady Charlene. We see the people who are giving everybody advice on what to do with their stimmy, how they can take their stimulus and become billionaires overnight. If they'll just do something probably fraudulent, LLC, business loan stuff. Like I saw one that was like illegal 5 different ways from my banking days. Talking about like start an LLC today, take out an SBA loan tomorrow, put it in your kid's name, write off your house. It was just all this ridiculous, illegal stuff. And everybody's liking and sharing it. And so on the other side of that, Pastor Jeff, is people who are like, don't tell me nothing. Don't tell me what to do with my stimmy. Don't tell me how to spend my money. And the sad thing is, most of the people saying that are people that, this is religiously incorrect, usually don't have nothing. And they're probably the people that would benefit the most from listening to some advice. But they're like, man, listen, from one broke baby mama to another, don't tell me and don't let nobody tell you how to spend your money. If you want to go out and buy some diamond crusted Jordans, go get them. But all these people are going to be back.
Oh, for sure. It happens every time. I mean, honestly, I was kind of offended the other day. I was at the Y. And, you just get in and you just, you catch the tail end of a conversation, but older Caucasian gentleman had to be 70, 80 years old. He said, yeah, we own a car shop, but we let this lady run it. But, we can't keep cars in right now. We can't keep cars in. Said, these are his exact words.
I already know this is going.
They go out and buy all these cars. They go out. They don't care about their kids. They don't care about their bills. They go out, and I'm like, should I?
That's not a real you people-y.
It sounded real Trumpish. It sounded real Trumpish. It was Trumpified. It was Trumpified.
You colored.
Jigaboos, porch month.
Black History Month is over, Jeff.
Listen, I mean, I was frustrated by it, but I'm just like, I'm quite sure we are not the only people.
We're not
getting stimulus. No. I'm quite sure that we are not the only people spending frivolous. I'm quite sure there's there's quite a few on the other side doing what they're at Walmart.
Oh yeah, all day, man.
Go to Walmart right now. They're all there.
We're gonna have to address you, man. We've talked about the N word. We're gonna talk about the J word. You keep dropping the J word on here, man. You be doing these 1930 racial slurs. These vaudeville slurs. No, you're right, man. I mean, take it from my banking days and my state assistance days working for Job and Family Services. It's definitely that trailer park element, man. They right up there with the hood, man, running neck and neck. Oh, at the Walmarts, all the bikes are gone, all the grills are gone, all the PS5s are sold out for the next 3 years.
Absolutely.
It be what it be. But so here's my question for you, Jeff. And we got some people on here. We might as well just mix it up now. So are you expecting your people to tithe off their stimmy? You want a stimmy tithe?
Man, you do know we pastor black churches, don't you?
Oh, we know.
They ain't about to give you no stimulus money.
Some preacher out there is gonna have a stimmy line. He's gonna have a stimulus harvest first fruit line. I'm telling you.
I ain't even expect. First of all, I ain't one of the pastors back there in the back trying to count the money. Right. I don't know what they giving and what they ain't. I just feel like if the Lord put it on your heart and you want to give a little something extra, be my guest. You know what I mean?
Right.
Let me. Can we first get you to tithe off your regular check? Can we start with the regular check?
Can you get something? Can you get the minimum?
10% off your regular check, off your Social Security check.
You can get 5%. We'll take 5. We can get it. Okay, so last spring I said something around tax time. Matter of fact, it was the first stimulus, which wasn't as big as this one,
right?
And tax time. So of course, we thought we was really rolling in it last time. I did say something, and I repeated it this year, and that was just simply, if you have been in a place, which a lot of people are, where they cannot do, they often say, I can't really contribute like I want to just about anything. Right. And you do have some extra funds in your pocket now. How about you give back to, and not just the church, not just the church. There could be an organization in your neighborhood that has been passing out groceries and they have helped you in a time of need. Maybe you can go drop them $100 or something and bless them and say, hey, I probably will still need help, sooner or later. But while I have a little extra, I would like to bless an organization. And it could be your local church, because churches do much of that work as well. So I just feel like if you have extra, especially if you're in a place where you could not do previously, that's always been your line. Well, obviously, judging by the diamond crusted Jordans, you can do now. You can do. So I just feel that that's just overall the holistic thing. And it does include the church. And if that comes off as self-serving, then so be it. But let's be honest. I mean, sowing is sowing, no matter where your increase comes from. And I think that, there's a blessing in sowing. And people should think about that. I do not think preachers should hone in on the stimulus. And there's nothing wrong with reminding people, as President Harrison did, that 10% of $1,400 is $140. President Harrison, who was one of our previous guests, Ohio Baptist State Convention president, he just reminded, just in case people didn't have their calculator app on their phone, he just reminded them that 10% of $1,400.
Listen, this is all I want to say to everybody out there. If your child has a birthday, my daughter had a birthday yesterday. If your child has a birthday right now, and because you got your stimulus check, buy all the kids something. Don't buy them Jordans, and then when your other kid's birthday come around, you can only get them Skechers. This ain't right.
I disagree, Jeff.
It ain't right.
I disagree. Hey, if Ethan wins the lotto this time, he just wins. He has to learn that sometimes you hit. Sometimes you hit. Hey, London's birthday is not until August, so So Ethan got the J's. London's getting the Shacks.
The Jacks.
London's getting the Starberries.
The Shacks. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, sometimes you hit, sometimes it lands on black. That's the way it goes.
Oh my God.
But man, it's been real. Hey, do something wise. I will say this word of wisdom. If you do not have a whole lot of money and this, has dropped in your pocket, ask somebody that's got something. What's wise to do with your money? Ask somebody that's got something. Stop.
Pay your rent up for a couple of months. Pay your bills, your back bills, your doctor bills, do something. Do something.
You missed my pastor's anniversary last fall. You can
hey, I'm being installed in about a month or so.
Save a few dollars for Jeff's installation. And make sure you hold something back for anniversary, Easter first, whatever you want to do. But hey, it's been cool. We'll talk more about it next week when we do another edition of Ask a Black Pastor. That's what we talk about next week. Ask a Black Pastor. We love to have these conversations. Now, y'all need to watch the previous episodes and make sure that you don't just keep asking the same questions over and over again. You already told y'all why we preach so long. I think we already told y'all why we hold our ear when we hoop. We already told y'all why we say on today. Black church people are the only people that put on in front of date.
On today.
And yet we are still here on today. Add words. So make sure you check on the question. We will tell you if we've already answered that question. So just ask a black pastor. And don't just be like insulting the black folk, because we'll start telling you what white folk do if you want to, get funky about it. I'll do it all day long because I know them well. But we want to introduce our guest. Mike, am I doing sponsors?
We got to do a sponsor.
Yeah, okay. Let's knock our sponsors out, man. The Phillips family. Are you doing one of them, Jeff?
No, go ahead. You got it.
I'll knock them out. Okay. Well, the Phillips family of businesses, as I've come to call them, because they are a family of businesses and they're brothers to me. I love them. We'll talk about Phillips Care Cleaning. We're so happy that they are a sponsor, and they're our first, inaugural sponsor of Religiously Incorrect. Our man Fernando manages Phillips Care Cleaning, and they take care of the mess that causes you stress. Ain't that a church phrase? Church folks started that business when they phrases rhyme like that.
I'm a preach that.
Residential, commercial, carpet cleaning. I think I got them to haul some stuff out of my. I was cleaning my garage out, and my dad's truck wasn't available, so now my yard look like Sanford and Son right now, and my neighbor is about to call the police on me. So I need to call Phillips Care LLC. You can visit them at phillipscarellc.com or call my man Fernando at 330-219-7916. They serve the entire region. They do an excellent job. Again, cleaning service, plowing, landscaping, carpet cleaning, and even house and commercial repair. Check them out. Phillips Care Cleaning, a proud sponsor of Religiously Incorrect podcast. Now we welcome our very special guest, and he is a very special guest. He's a very special guest. He was the sound of my teenage years, when the devil was trying to get me to listen to 112 and Drew Hill and Bad Boy, you know what I'm saying? Really, I mean, you're talking about a sound that really captured hearts, young and old, definitely rhythm in the praise and wrapped up, tied up. I mean, that just captured, it really did. I mean, when you're a young Christian trying to do the right thing, I'm a PK, you want to have something to bump. We ain't really bumping Hezekiah. Let's just be honest. I mean, we sing him in church, but we ain't bumping Jesus in my hell.
Right.
This is me.
Right.
My name at the corner store. Well, come on now.
That's why we love Kirk.
Right. Yeah. Cousin Kirk. We love Cousin Kirk.
How much Kirk mess up?
John P. Kidd cuss you out too, by the way, freely and willingly, and take an offering when he gets done with you.
Yes, sir. So
this brother is one half of the duo Dawkins and Dawkins, producer, writer, singer, musician, but also I see he's a fitness guru too. He's in the running and stuff. I just walk. He do running and stuff. So let's welcome to Religiously Incorrect, Mr. Brother Anson Dawkins. Everybody, give it up.
Put those hands together right now. Put those hands together right now.
He's still here, Jeff.
What's up, brothers?
What's happening, my man?
What's happening with you, man?
Man, y'all are wild.
Y'all are
straight wild.
We're gonna lose a guest one of these days. We're gonna lose somebody. We're gonna
introduce him.
The screen gonna be blank.
We gonna say we introduce him. It's just gonna be a blank screen. Nobody gonna be there.
Somebody go check on him.
Right. Call him.
How you doing, man? How's it going?
I'm doing well. It's a great day out here I'm in the Pacific Northwest, so it's a great day out here. You know, overcast, rainy. This is pretty much what we get until July, August. It's gonna be like this, but it's great, man. I'm loving life and I had church today, so I'm good. I'm good.
All right.
That's what it's all about. Church today.
Yes, sir.
Church
Yes,
today.
sir. All right.
So we're based out of Northeast Ohio. You have some roots, some deep ties here. Tell us about it.
Oh yeah. Well, Northeast Ohio was I spent some time there. My family's from Steubenville, Ohio. So they're still pastor. My dad's a pastor. I'm a PK. We're PKs. So still they're pastoring Zion Temple, Greater Zion Temple Family Ministries. They start adding stuff on the name.
Oh yeah. International.
Yeah, International House of Praise.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, and then I went to school in Youngstown State, and I was there at a church, Mount Calvary there, and had still have some great friends and folks that I consider family there in Youngstown. Haven't been back in a little bit, but look forward to dropping through after I get my second shot.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
That sounds good. Now you went to Mount Calvary, and I see you're doing something right now with Darren Thomas, correct?
Yeah. It was actually a few, maybe a month, couple months ago.
I'm sorry, Pastor Darren. I don't want to disrespect nobody. Apostle, Bishop,
arch worshiper.
You know,
presiding prelate of the piano.
We got to give him his
the honorable. I'm sorry, the honorable.
The honorable.
We forgot honorable.
Love it. Well, he was doing a project, and he reached out to me after LaRon Rainey reached out initially. Hey, Apostle's doing this project. Want to get you on to do a lead on a song, and I was just like, okay, let me hear it, let me see what's going on, and we worked it out, and I was able to get on. I just heard it, I was just listening to it maybe a couple days ago, so it's a cool song, cool project. I'm glad I got a chance to be on it.
Now let me tell you something, man. I just found out, you just told us you from Steubenville. Steubenville was one of the first places I played football at. I started as a freshman from East High School.
Oh,
and the first game ever was against Steubenville. Listen, and y'all know Steubenville. It was 1 million people at this game.
Big Red, baby.
Big Red.
I'm scared as life. I'm scared. Listen, and they got the fire that come out. It was the closest I ever came to hell in my life. Y'all scored so much.
You felt the gates of hell, Jeff?
I said, Lord, have mercy with us.
You got saved that
every
night.
time I turned around. Listen, we had to leave that game. Our coach made us get on the bus because they was cheating and spitting and throwing stuff. I said, no, we out of here, Doc. We out of here. Yeah, that's man.
Hilarious.
Yeah,
the doctors must have took the anointing with them when they left or something. I don't know.
Ain't no anointing on that football field. I can tell you that much.
Oh my Lord. Yeah, there's been some crazy stuff going on that has happened over the years. But we actually went to another school on the other side of town in Wintersville. So we were there. So we were kind of the the little stepbrother. So we didn't win that many games, and it was always
I was going to say we never heard of y'all, Doc.
Yeah.
Not Wintersville.
The Wintersville Warriors. You never heard of
Wintersville.
Yeah, that's Right.
Cold blooded, Jeff.
I'm sure. Thanks, Jeff.
So Anson, tell us, the 90s were a breakthrough season for gospel music. There were a lot. I mean, there was Virtue and Trinity 5-7, Kirk. You had people changing their sound, and you guys were definitely a part of that, you and your brother Eric. How do you feel that sound? I mean, we all know about the controversy with Kirk when people were saying this ain't true gospel music, it's breaking out of the James Cleveland mold. How do you feel you were supported or not supported when you're going into musicals, invited to churches, and all right, pump that sub, hit that track, and this is not, this is not the organ, this is not the old Baptist intro, this is not the Kojic clap, this is something else. How do you feel like the support or the criticism, some of the things you experience, kind of bringing that new sound to light?
Well, there was a lot of challenges with coming out that way. We were following in the footsteps, honestly, following in the footsteps of Commission. And it was one of those things where we wanted to take it to the next level with musically and lyrically, and just try to have a more mainstream appeal. And it wasn't like we were, it was like, we want to be we want to be the KC and JoJo, that kind of Jodeci feel. It was that this was our, this is what the kind of music that we did. This is what we loved. So it was kind of natural for that to come out of us. I remember going to, we were doing a promotional tour and we were in Chicago. We went to a record store, and when Need to Know was first serviced to radio, and they listened to this particular record store. The owner came out. He was like, he listened to the song. He said, "This is not gospel." And straight to our face, we were just like
that. You going to hell?
Yeah, exactly. It was just like, this is not gospel at all. Why are y'all here? That's basically what he was saying. Y'all not supposed to be here. But we're talking about Jesus in the song, and this is the whole idea around the song is getting to know who Jesus is, and it's basically evangelism. Right. That's basically what the song is, evangelism. But those were the kind of things we had to face, and those were the if that wasn't an isolated incident, there were so many times where we would go different places, and people would be like, "I can't believe this, this is the kind of music that you're doing." But at the same time, there were people that were embracing it, because it was drawing young people, and it was drawing, people that didn't want it, that were just getting saved, whether they be in, in whatever kind of industry, professional. We've had professional athletes come in, talk to us about, "Hey man, we used to play this when we were on the bus. We were on the bus going to play and such. Or it was in the locker room. We were playing this in the locker room. It was just, this got us through, because we weren't listening to none of this other gospel stuff. We would listen to y'all though." So, we know that, it was kind of a pioneering thing. So most of the time the pioneers, they're not the ones that everybody remembers or, points to, right. But we're glad that we were able to get it going and get it started. And we're still doing stuff, and, we got something coming out very soon. So I hope hopefully everybody be ready for that.
Y'all done something else, man. That, I had to look up, and I said, what? They done this? Y'all done a Christmas track.
Oh yeah.
Y'all done a Mariah Carey.
Like Christmas, mistletoe and stuff.
Y'all done a Christmas. How'd that come about, man? How'd y'all end up doing a Christmas track?
Well, one of Eric's buddies down in Houston, named D Busy, was doing a Christmas project.
I already like it. I already like the story.
Let me tell you, he and Eric have done a few different things where D Busy would do a track, and then he would do it, right to it. And so basically D Busy was like, doing this thing, and want y'all to be involved. And, so we actually cut it maybe 2 years ago or so. And, we sat in my brother's studio in his house, and we cut that song, and then it was something that we had wanted to do for a while, because we did a song, actually our first Christmas song, which is interesting. Our first Christmas song we did on Harmony Records when we had Need to Know and everything, that particular label. Right. But we cut the song from last week with Paul. We at that studio that he was talking about. Michael Powell produced that song, and we cut. That was our first Christmas song, and we thought it was going to be our last, because we couldn't get nothing else going. It's like, man, every time we want to do it, okay, let's do a Christmas song. It was like November when we would, we need to do it.
Yeah, February.
Yeah, it's too late. So, but we finally got this song out, and we really liked this song. It was different for us, but we want to put our flavor, add our flavor to this thing. So I
don't know why more gospel artists don't do it. You know what I mean? Who else better to sing about Christmas than gospel artists?
Yeah. Well, if you're gonna do Christmas songs or an album, you have to do a version of This Christmas like 2 million other people have done.
Yeah.
You're not black if you haven't done a cut of This Christmas.
That's right. That's right. Look for it next year. Look for it.
Yeah. Cash Money this Christmas, No Limit Soldier this Christmas. It's just all over. You know, Charlene said, you really were the Casey and JoJo of gospel. I mean, people are gonna make those comparisons. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
You got two brothers. And I played, Big L, we were doing pre-show with you. Big L, I played for the group. We had a group. My brothers had a group that came out of the temple, Neville's temple. Mm-hmm. And one thing I always noticed that people try to gloss over is that being young men, young black men, young handsome black men often plays a part in the live shows, the concerts. And sometimes there's some fandom, there's some female fandom going on that does help to push, the popularity.
Yeah.
And we see it with preachers, of course, young preachers, of course, musicians. We all know the notorious musicians. But how did that play in? Because it's something people don't like to talk about, but it's real. I mean, everybody ain't there to talk about need to know. They're trying to need to know Anson. They need to know Anson and Eric. That's what they don't want to know Jesus. They want to be wrapped up and tied up in the Dawkins. Talk about that reality, because the music scene, you talking the concerts, the tours, even musicals. You just you can't deny that.
Yeah.
Listen, before you answer, you don't have to give us the whole truth.
Yeah. We don't need to hear about the gospel.
You don't have to give us the whole truth for nothing. You don't got to give us that woman with the issue of blood and turned around.
Yeah, we don't need all that. Hotel, motel, Holiday Inn. You don't need all that.
What's funny is that we, as I mentioned, commission before, we started out with them. We were on the road with them for about 2 years. And they had a policy when we were out on the road that there would be no girls on the floor that you were on. So that you could have, or you would be fined.
Really? So
it was nobody wanted to be fined because we wasn't really making money anyway. It's like you're gonna take $10 and I only made 20 on this thing. So there would be no girls, 0 girls. There was only one time that I remember that there was a girl on a floor, and it was, all hell broke loose when that happened. So we kind of got it in our system that we weren't going to have that kind of stuff, but they were there. They were around, and they, I remember we were in, I think, Milwaukee, and for some reason we were on, I think we were on tour with Living Proof tour or something, and I remember getting a call in my hotel room. I just got in the hotel room from this girl. And she found out we were at the hotel. I had never met this girl before in my life. I didn't know who it was. She said, well, I'm going to be around. I'll be around when you guys come to the venue. I'll be around and I'll find you. It was that kind of stuff that was just strange. At the same time, there was a little part of us that was just like, okay. This is
right.
All right. It's kind of all right. You got fans, you got people that are interested, in you. But they were the ones, a lot of times they were the ones that were driving, that's what with music, especially male groups, period. A lot of the females drive the record sales. They're the ones that make sure they don't call in, because I don't know. A lot of dudes would be calling into the radio, so play such and such.
Yo, bro, play that Dawkins.
Play that Dawkins need to know. It's not happening that much.
Right.
So, it was the girls, and, it's been, we kind of took it in stride. We took it in stride, not to say we didn't have any slip ups and mess ups, but that's a part of what this whole deal of walking in truth, walking in grace, and finding out what are you made of. A lot of times we don't slip up because we ain't nobody there to slip up with.
Right.
Ain't nobody even hollering for you.
Right.
But when they start hollering, then you see what the real deal is. So
I love that rule. The no girls on the floor. Now, you said this was on a tour with commission.
This was with commission. Period. They had that long before we got there, and it was something that they kept instituted. And they, all those guys, except Michael Williams at the time, all of them were married, and then Marvin wasn't married yet, but he was getting close. So, but they had this stuff, and they honored their marriages, and they honored their family. So it was a big deal to them.
That's glad to know. I'm sure there's some groups out there that their rule was they had to see the girls first, then you could.
You can, yeah. Them guys, those are holiness guys.
That's good, man.
Guys came out of holiness. So yeah, but we went out with a couple different groups that had some
different standards.
Here we go. Yes, sir.
No, 1 minute standard. But we were with a group. We went to we were in London. Did a little tour with a rap group.
Mm-hmm.
And no names mentioned. But they're pretty popular. They're a pretty popular group. And they had some other guys with them that were helping and doing different stuff, mixing all that kind of stuff. So they were younger guys. And one night after one of the shows we had done at this college, we got back to the hotel and we see these girls coming in late. And we're like, man, what's going on? And then we go to bed, but when we go to bed, they just really getting started. So the next morning, we get up and we ask, hey, what happened to those girls that were here? We just straight up, hey, what happened? What's the deal? What y'all doing? This is what they said. Oh, those were bathers. I was like, what?
Y'all in Zamunda?
Those were bathers. They bathe us. I was like, man, this is crazy.
Yes, sir, Doc.
Easy. So yeah, they were bathers, young bathers. And I guess they bathe them and send them home.
Hey, when we go offline, I need to book this group for a tour. You need to find out this bathing ministry I never heard of. I didn't see that in the fivefold gift. That
no, that is the addendum to foot washing.
No, that's the Bathsheba ministry. That is.
There you go. We didn't participate. We didn't understand it.
So when you talked about this, and Pastor Todd can attest to it, and as pastors, oftentimes when we go to church, there are a lot of things that we can say, or we can people want to grab your books, they want to grab your coat, you know what I mean, they want to park your car. You can get in church, you could be at a church meeting and be like, boy, I'm hungry, and somebody gonna have some KFC there for you in about 10 minutes, you know what I mean? And then when you get home, your wife is like, take out the trash.
Right.
Yeah. Pastor, what do you mean they take out?
Yeah.
Don't you know I'm a pastor?
Right.
I can take out trash.
I'm transferring up in here.
but how was it, after you guys had obtained that success that you guys got, and then going back home to, to
life.
Studentville or wherever you went to in life, and you ain't the gospel music star Dawkins and Dawkins at home. You answer, but answer, go down here and wash these dishes now.
Right. What is interesting about us is that those were never really problems for us because of how we were raised. We never felt like we were, these elite guys that were doing, we go out and we do this, and we were grateful for the opportunity to do it, grateful for the people that we got to be around. It was something that we loved to do. We never brought that persona back in the house. You know, we had a thing where a lot of people have talked to us, and they was like, you guys are so real, so, you know, y'all low key, y'all not you're very humble, that kind of thing. This is, I mean, it's nothing to be. I mean, this is a gift from God. This straight up. I can't boast about this. This is what God gave me. I'm using. My goal and my endeavor is to use it for Him. So not to get deep or anything, but the fact of the matter is, I'm still Anson. That's still Eric. We go home. We gotta be parents. We gotta be, you know, he gotta be a husband. I gotta be, you know, dad, and you know, I don't have to worry about, but I got to clean the house. I got to fold the clothes. I got to do all that kind of stuff. And if I decide that I'm going to take that position, then I'm, you know, whatever comes with that, because I've seen, I mean, you know, we see it play out. We see it play out with different artists, with different folks. I don't want that for my life. I don't want that for anybody around me. So, you know, we try to be examples of what we really are, who we really are. We try to do that.
Right. I know, Anson, that being in a group is hard, and being in a group with a family member can be even harder.
Yeah.
You know, what's the intersection between, you know, the professional side and the personal side? Because family church, you already feel it. I know what it's like. Yeah. You know, everything is always surrounded by the church. But
yeah.
I guess the more important question is, have you ever had any like on stage fights, like New Edition? Dragging each other off stage, trying to sing over each other. Y'all ever had?
No, you know what?
Are you Bobby Brown?
Which one's Bobby? That's what we really want to know. Which one's Bobby?
You know what's funny? That's just not us.
All right, I want another guess. Get Anson out of here.
The funniest thing, I think the most challenging thing that we've had is to be out. We were in Philly, and we were doing this show. It was late. I mean, there was a group up that was before us, a guy, a group or something, and we were supposed to be headlining. But this group was from this church.
Oh yeah, that's the worst.
So they were going on and on and on. And by the time we got out, we were like loopy. We were like, I'm tired. I'm ready to go to sleep. I just want to go home. So we got out there and we started singing. And Eric, I think we were doing Need to Know. Yeah, we were doing Need to Know. And he finished his verse, and we got to the chorus. And then after he did that, he looked at me and he did literally, you know, it's like, need to know now. Gotta know. And we get to the end, need to know now. Gotta know everybody. And Eric did just like, come on, Anson, what'd you say? And literally, I looked at him with my mouth open like,
what?
Missed half my verse. And I'm trying to figure out what just happened.
What was that?
He just looks at me and starts laughing. We on stage. People looking at us like, what's going on? But Eric is just like, I'm ready to finish this and go home. This is done. Those are the and now see the problem with those types of things, and this is where I kind of get an attitude after, but because that happens, you never forget that. You never forget that moment that happened, and you always looking for it to come. Don't do that again, but it's in your mind.
Yeah, you're tripped out now.
It's in your mind. So yeah, we didn't fight, but we would mess with each other. We would mess with each other on songs and stuff and Eric is, now I'm gonna tell you, one of the most amazing voices that you will ever hear. Eric has the utmost ability to do whatever he wants to do. So Eric will do things, and it's almost like he does things. He doesn't do this on purpose, but it's like he does things and dares me
to do it with him.
To do it, yeah. I'm gonna do this. Go do some kind of crazy run, and then expect me to follow up.
Right.
So I'm just like, no, I'm just do the background right now.
Right. Act like you got the Holy Ghost. Act like the Spirit came in.
Hey. I sometimes just I look literally. He does stuff sometimes. I just look at him. I just laugh. I just like on stage. We just like,
Yeah,
really? That's what you're doing? So yeah, I love being able to work with him, and he is he's a very gifted writer, producer, vocalist, musician. This has just been the I think the blessing of our lives to be able to work together as brothers. We're 11 and a half months apart.
wow.
And, so it's just been like, we've been together for ever, for all of our lives. We had a little group in, we had a couple groups in Ohio, actually. We did it. I remember we did a talent show. They had a talent show in Youngstown. And I think Kenny Eldridge was one of the judges, and
Okay,
a couple other folks were judges, and we did a song, and we lost, but it was because I don't want to say why, but
we want to hear why.
Well, because they had different things. We didn't do a commission song and we didn't dance, so I think that was why. Because the group that won did won a commission song. I think "I Will Never Leave You" or something back in the day, and they did it. Did their little dances and stuff. I can't remember what the Roosevelt. I can't remember what Roosevelt's last name was, but Roosevelt was a great singer. But they had a little group, and they won, so it was cool. It was cool. But we did an original song, so that's what we were like. Our song was original. We didn't copy nobody. So.
And then Jeff's crew rolled in with some guns and ended the whole talent show. That's how he used to roll back in the day. He used to just.
Was it Roosevelt Griffin? Can you remember that?
Roosevelt Griffin. Yep, it was Roosevelt.
Yeah. Yep. Black Rose.
Black Rose. Yeah.
That's a singing dude too.
Yeah, he is. Well, real quick, who is an underrated cat in gospel right now that people are slipping on? You know what I mean? I know you've been in the business, and with Spotify you can watch and get everybody. I can get every song everybody ever wrote. Yeah. So who is somebody that's underrated? A gospel singer that's underrated right now, in your opinion?
I would say Eric Dawkins. We always go.
He's voting for family. He's voting for family, folks.
I got you.
I will put him up against anybody, as far as vocally is concerned, and even writing, and just the creativity that he brings to the table. I can't, as far as gospel artists, somebody that I've heard a lot of different artists that I thought, were really good. I think we had a guy that did a background for us a few years ago. His name is Marcus. What is Marcus's last name? I'm gonna find this. I'm gonna send this guy to you. But he's just a crazy vocalist, and he plays drums and leads worship and sings and stuff. So he kills on both.
I like Marcus Mason.
No, his last name's not Mason, but it's
Mason.
No, but he's in Minneapolis, I believe. No, Milwaukee. I think he's
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But but there's some great guys out there that have some great voices that listening to. Sometimes I go Instagram, and that you have all these folks that you're like, how in the world are these guys and ladies singing like this?
Right.
This is amazing people to be able to watch, but it's like one of those things where you have so much more ability to see all the different artists, all these different people, and people have the ability to get their music out there or just sing.
Right.
You know, watching James Fortune and Isaac Careed do their thing where they have these vocalists come on. Sometimes it's hilarious, but then sometimes they have folks on that are just like incredible. You know,
Killer.
watching it. So I'm digging that. I'm really digging that.
I played, of course, like every PK does for my parents, you know, played for my dad, you know, keys and organ. The very first song I ever learned was Jesus is the Answer for the World Today.
Yeah.
Very first song I learned, my teacher and one of the ministers taught me at that time. What's the first song you and your brother sang together? You know, like on any particular official, whether it's at your parents' church or growing up. Charlene asked one of our viewers, what's the first song you and your brother sang together?
It was funny because we grew up singing with my mom. So we started, you know, like 5, 6, you know, singing with her. So the first song I believe that we ended up doing was a song called it was, what was the name of that song? Oh, it was by a group in Houston called BCNS. And the song was, I don't know what the future holds. I don't know about today, but I know these. Tomorrow might find me broke without a dime. I'm not worried, the Lord was there. I can't even remember the name of the song. My feelings love.
You're singing the whole song. Keep singing. Maybe you'll come.
Yeah. Come you know, I cannot remember this song.
You got to come back and tell us, man. Get the inbox it to us or something.
You kill it.
When did y'all start? When did y'all start? About what age?
We started about 5 and 6, 4 and 5, right in that age bracket. I remember we did between BCNS, our songs we would do be between BCNS and a group called the Pentecostal Ambassadors, which we were just like following for a grip when we were younger. So we like you guys, like you grew up on us, you know, we grew up on the Pentecostal Ambassadors. So it was we would do those songs. It was a trio out of Indianapolis, and great group. So yeah, but yeah, between that and there was one that wow, these are things I should know, but because I'm getting old,
you gotta write your book. You gotta start writing your book. Now y'all did revivals and all with your parents, right? Did you guys travel with your parents?
Yeah, definitely. I remember going to we were in Gary, Indiana, doing I remember going there singing one time, and my dad was preaching. I remember coming out, somebody broke in my dad's car. Somebody broke in the car. So that was Gary, Indiana. You know, that was like
you go around with Gary in there. Yeah, that sounded like y'all was on like the fried chicken circuit. Was this one of the revivals where I had chicken and pound cake for sale in the basement, and you could smell it while you were still singing?
I'm sure.
You probably saw Michael Jackson out there. One of them Jacksons moving them bricks.
That's probably what it was. I know the worst I remember that my brother was told a story not too long ago, where I remember when my voice first changed, and we were in Kansas City, and my dad was preaching, and we sang a song, and I guess I had to be like 14, 15, maybe even younger, but my voice cracked right in the middle of my part, right, and it was at night. We were in Kansas City, and this street called Split Log. This church was there, and when that happened, as soon as we finished the song, I ran out of the church, and I just ran down the street because I was just like, I was done with this. Wow. I was embarrassed. I wasn't doing it no more, and literally, I didn't know where I was. Number one, it was dark. And that wasn't a good area. So my family came out came out trying to find me, and they finally found me. You know,
Y'all need to pick better cities, man.
You know what I'm
Kansas City.
Kansas City.
You need to get a better circuit going, Doc, because y'all was on the downswing.
I love the fact that, you know, Todd, you're a PK kid and you learn songs and you learn songs. See, I learned like Tupac, I Get Around.
Yeah, and you have to like remix two short songs.
You know, them the kind of songs I learned. I don't know.
Jeff was thugging for Jesus for a long time. Then he started just thugging it for thugging. Then he went back to thugging for Jesus.
Oh Lord. Oh my Lord.
Yeah, that PK stuff, it ain't nothing, man. You learn, like, it's a whole new world being PKs. Yeah. It's like a whole different reality. It's like a fraternity.
Yeah.
You know when you're talking to one. It's only stuff you know. Always being the first there, the last to leave.
Yeah.
Dragged around to a billion services, introduced to people you don't know and will never meet again.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to remember all of them 20 years later.
Yep.
You know, people you met when you were 3. You know, like you remember old Deacon Jim? No, I don't remember any of these people.
Yes, you do.
I don't remember.
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
Think about it. Think about it.
Bob. You Bob. Like, I don't know if you say it twice. But it's something. Did you guys feel the pressure? You know, there's always that pressure of PKs to follow your parents in ministry. Did you ever feel pressure to go out on your own and not do this? Like, I don't want to be in this mode. I'd rather, you know, carve out my own path doing something else, even outside of church. Even a lot of people just kind of want to.
Yeah, you know, that was not as much for us, because I think because we had there was there was pressure put on us to take over, you know, when my dad was ready to retire and do his thing, for us to take over the church, continue on in ministry that way. And we were content with being able to, with not having to take over. You know, we'll still stay true to the ministry, to the calling. It's going to look different, but at least, you know, I don't want to take over. You know, right. I don't want to go to. I'm not sure I want to go to Steubenville and do a work. You know, I love Steubenville. I love the folks there. Love doing that. But whether the call that I have on my life has not had Steubenville involved in it.
I feel it.
So, wow. And that's that. And my dad was, you know, I know there were days he was kind of, you know, a little bit disappointed by that, but we both moved to the West Coast, and it was just like, it's going to be hard for us to come back. It's going to be hard because this is.
I feel it. I'm checking them Spirit flights now, bro.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for cruises.
You fly on Spirit?
Yeah.
You flying Spirit?
Oh, hey, man. We support preachers.
Now, although I was not a PK, my son is, and you know, my son is the furthest thing from thug ever in life. He's the furthest thing from athletic. He don't do none of that stuff. You know, he's the nicest, sweetest kid ever, and you know, I am molding him and teaching him and, you know, bringing him up in the admonition of the Lord. Yeah. How are you with your, and I know, are you a preacher? Or you're not a preacher, or are you?
I preach some, but I'm a worship pastor. So I lead worship and you know, do that.
Okay.
So
how is that with your children? Are they singers? Are you bringing them up in that vein?
They can sing, but that's not at all what they're doing. They're both going into education. I have two daughters, and that's what they want to pursue. They love the fact that I do it. They, you know, it just gives them joy, you know, to watch me and to, you know, to talk about me. But that is not, they never, there was something about that generation that, you know, there's some special ones that just kind of lock in the church, and then you have the others, like my daughters, who who love God, who love the Lord, but at the same time, their pursuit is outside of the church. They don't find their motivation to be in that church setting doing that, because that's all. Basically, that was all that we,
Culture.
that's all y'all gonna do. That's what you're gonna
It's
do.
your world.
And it wasn't. I didn't make that their world. I
Right.
didn't make that their world, because I just believe that church, everything should not revolve around the church service. I love the fact that, we got, we were able to be around, have that community and have that upbringing. And then at the same time, when I got to a certain age and I had kids, there was some of that I wanted them to get, but I wanted them to have other communities as well, because we didn't get that, and then by the time we were adults and got out, and we were like, where do I fit in?
Right.
Where do I fit in? So it's kind of a different feel for them. They're definitely not involved in church in that way.
We're all a lot different, I think, our generation, in raising our kids, and I feel the exact same way. My children watch me. They know, of course, you got to believe it's somewhat in them, but they don't have that same just jump up and do kind of thing. And of course, we don't push it and press it, and the culture has shifted too. Right. I mean, but sometimes you do regret it, because I'd be like, I sure could use an organist right now.
For real.
So my dad was really getting off on me for free for some years. I sure could use that super cheap dude just to back me up here. So it's like like you said, seeing the world outside, but also wanting to have that commitment. But there's pros and cons to that. And I guess I want to finish up with this. What would the Anson of now say to the Anson of then, who was just getting started, record first dropping, first really seeing the blow up? What would you say to that person, knowing what you know now, having lived what you live? What would be your advice?
I would say one of the most important things is to guard your heart.
Okay.
Guard your heart. There will be so many things that will come to make you to tempt you to be bitter about industry, about church, about other people in the industry. There will be things that are going to come up. You got to guard your heart against being bitter, and learn how to forgive quickly. Learn how to forgive quickly. There is so much to take on as you kind of maneuver through on this journey, especially in the music industry. And you take on a lot of things that you don't necessarily need to take on. Things that you can't control, but you're trying to control. You're trying to manipulate things and figure out, how am I going to do this? How this is going to happen? And the things that I've come to grow to understand now is that I'm in control of hardly anything. I'm in charge. I'm in charge of obedience. I'm not in charge of the outcome.
Wow.
I get to follow what Jesus. I get to follow what Jesus says, and we determine, Eric and I both. One of the things that we will continue to say is that our measure of success is not like everybody else's. Our measure of success has to do with our obedience to what God has told us to do. All the other stuff, if we don't get platinum records, if we don't, if this next musical endeavor falls flat on its face, but we shared what God gave us to share, then we're being obedient. That's success for us. Right. We believe things are going to happen, but we're not in charge of the outcome. We are not in charge of the outcome. So yeah, it would be on those lines, that, guarding my heart, and then, relinquishing control, that surrender aspect.
I feel it.
I love it. Man, before we let you go, I cannot just let you walk out of here, man. Pajam probably will call us and be like, man, y'all wasn't hard enough on this dude, man. So, I gotta
too easy on him.
be religiously incorrect with you for a second now, man.
Oh,
you know,
Lord.
you've been in this for a while, man. You've been doing. First of all, let me ask you. I got a two-part question. First of all, do you listen to secular music at all?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Well, you know what? I'm sorry. It's three.
That was the most yes.
It's 3 parts.
Oh, it's 3 parts.
Who are some of the artists you like?
Ooh. This has to do with my generation as well. I think, you know, as far and black folks, you know, Mint Condition was a big group for us. Listen to but now you have artists like Love Her. I love Layla Hathaway. Singers that really
Megan Thee Stallion.
You know what's crazy is that there are, of course, you know, certain things I just don't listen to because they just don't appeal to me.
Yeah,
but,
I feel it.
You know, you can hear certain singers like, Big Brandy fan, Jasmine Sullivan, you know, have some, you know, you have to kind of, you know, take that with a grain of salt. Some artists, because they're doing some really hard hitting stuff, but some of the content is just like, woo, that's heavy for me. That's heavy for me.
Now the last part, would you ever switch up? Not that you're gonna sing anything, but you know, if somebody offered you a record deal to, you know, do some melodic love, you know, type music, you know what I mean? Would you ever consider, you know what I mean, doing something like that?
Consider, yeah, definitely consider it. You know, I think that if we as children of God who have been loved, you know, unequivocally beyond measure, if we can't sing about love, then what are we doing? You know, if I can't sing about true, actual love, that because that's the biggest command right there. You know, when Jesus changed things up, you know, it was the fact that we are to love God, but we are to love others.
Right.
You know, that's the big deal. If you're loving your brother, your sister, then that's how people are going to know that you love God anyway.
Right.
You know, so I feel like we should be able to, if, you know, in the right context. I wouldn't do no
Right.
I wouldn't do some of the stuff that I've heard.
Megan Thee
Stallion. I wouldn't do Megan Thee Stallion, you know, even some of the stuff that, you know, one of the songs that Brian put out or was trying to do. So I wouldn't do certain things, you know, but yeah, I would, yeah, definitely. Why not?
So I know you're a peacemaker, Anson. I know you're a very peaceful guy. I love this. But I ask all my artists, you know, before we bring in Big Mike, you know, who still owe you money, Doc? Who's that promoter that didn't pay you? Who's that preacher that didn't have your offering at the end of the there it is. You see my eyes? You see them eyes?
That's that face. That's that face.
You said we did a whole hour set. We did a whole hour set.
Let me tell you this. We back at that same tour, we went to London with that rap group. And this promoter,
there it is.
Number one, didn't have none of the. I mean, I think we did like six shows there. I would be surprised if I came home with $200. What? The hotel. I remember this is crazy. This is crazy thing. The hotels wasn't being paid for. We had the craziest incident. The craziest incident. We were in a hotel in the UK, and the owner was just like, "Who's paying this bill?" I'm not gonna try to just accent. Who's paying the bill, right? So they kept saying the promoter's paying, the other artists, the other group. All right, I'm gonna just say it. This is a Gospel Gangsters. So the Gospel Gangsters was there. So they were like, "Hey,
they was gangsters, all right.
They was gangsters for real. we not responsible for this bill. The promoter is. It was this African dude. So anyway, we get to they call Scotland Yard. They call the police. So the first thing is this crazy thing. They call the police. The guy locks the doors and calls the police.
Oh my!
So it was the strangest thing to me and my brother. But the gospel gangsters, when he said he called the police, the gospel gangsters took off. They found doors, and they was out like, oh, I can't. There's Popo. I can't. So it was.
Yeah.
They was real
all like that. You
that
don't
was real.
gospel gangsters.
They don't play with the police. So anyway, police got there, and it's a whole different thing. So the promoter ended up showing up. The hotel manager was like, okay, who is paying this bill? The promoter was just standing there. He had brought his son and everything, a little bitty boy. He brought his son, and he was just standing there kind of looking like. So one of the gangsters gets up and walks over to this dude, and he said something to him. He didn't cuss. But basically, he told him if he didn't tell this hotel manager that he was going to pay for this thing and that we weren't responsible for it, he was about to get knocked out.
Gonna be some problems.
Yeah. So that whole thing, I mean, literally, I think we all might have gone home with $200.
Wow.
Because this promoter we kept doing shows. We're gonna get the money. Just never showed up. Never showed up.
What's a good time to mention next week our special guest of the gospel gangsters?
Hey, Todd. Hey, Pastor. They was running because they had those 16-year-old bathers.
Right. In international waters.
Yeah, we can't go. We can't be stuck over here. We got to get back
Interpol
home.
laws, man. You going for United Nations for that? That's,
I'm trying to find the embassy. They were trying to find the embassy.
Well, Big Mike, we're waiting for the lawsuits to come in. After time to lawyer up. Time to lawyer up. But before we do, we want to thank our sponsors.
Wow.
Okay, we're gonna bring in Big Mike and clear up with Anson. Man, you were the best guest ever. Everybody give it up for Anson Dawkins. You're the best guest ever. We appreciate you, man. Just lots of funny things. Let me hit this real quick. Again, from the Phillips Care family of businesses, check out Phillips Care Training. We have talked about them ad nauseum. They will train you, but they will not train us because we are enjoying this COVID wait. So, but take advantage. Our man, Mike Phillips, who is Fernando's brother, we all went to school together, actually, wonderful Black brothers, owns now High Street Fitness in Cortland. If you know the area here in Ohio, you know where Cortland is, 277 South High Street. Check them out. They're still running a New Year's special. Mike is a beast. He played for our local high school at Harding. He played for Pitt in Pitt University. He will get you right. He be having his 1-year-old on Facebook doing push-ups and stuff, man. I'm just saying. He got like little baby Hercules going. So check out Phillips Care Training and, of course, Phillips Care Cleaning. We appreciate our sponsors and thank them so much. Big Mike, come on in here and make sure you bring legal representation with you.
All I want to know is when can you get us bathers? Can you get us bathers, Mike?
The bathers. Yeah, when we get these bathers, Mike?
How does religiously incorrect get bathers? That's what I want to know.
I got the lawyer on speed dial. So.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Ben Crump.
Anson, my man. Hey, Doc, thank you so much for coming on, man. I really appreciate you reaching back out to us, man, saying you want to be a part. Really, really appreciate it.
Sure, love you guys.
Wonderful conversation, wonderful stories. Really, really enjoyed the show tonight, man. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it.
Love it.
Thank you.
Spread the word, man, because I think next time we might have you and your brother on.
Oh, we'd love to do it.
That'll
be They gotta have a sing-off. I want to watch Eric give him runs and
and he'll do it too.
Hey, it'd be like that one guy on Bill Cosby. Challenge. Challenge.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Real quick before we go, Anson, I was reading your bio and you play trumpet.
Yeah.
Now, how does a brother in the church end up playing trumpet? Because usually it's the keys or the drums,
right,
or the saxophone, if anything.
right,
Yeah.
right.
The trumpet, I was like, wow, the trumpet.
It was funny. When I was in coming up in junior high school, when we were in Tennessee, we lived in Tennessee as well. So I wanted to join the band, and when I joined the band, I was already playing drums.
Okay.
I played drums already, and I got in, but I wanted to do something different. And for some reason, the trumpet was just like, it was calling me. So I got in there. I started going on trumpet. Now I don't play anymore. I don't play anymore. But while I was doing it, I mean, I was on consistently first year. Consistently.
There you go.
Was waiting for challenges.
Right.
Challenge.
Right.
Waiting for challenges all the way up through high school, out of high school. Still played some after that, but consistently, it was just a part of me, and I love doing that.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Something different. I
definitely
get it. Yeah. I also follow you on Instagram, man, and I see you run marathons and you're running 8-9 miles a day. And
It's
cool.
I love that, man. I started doing that. I think I ran my first marathon when I was 32, 33, somewhere in there.
Okay.
And was able to, I've done, I think 11 or 12 of them so far.
Wow.
Was able to do Boston, and, so
really?
some really cool experiences with that, and, the running community, and just taking care of my temple. This is a
How
part
far
of
is a marathon? I don't know how
26.2 miles. Yeah.
Man.
So,
I don't even drive that far.
I'm gonna be straight up. It is one of the hardest things that you can do. As far as the running aspect, it takes so much out of you, but the sense of accomplishment that you get is just, there's nothing like it. Honestly.
He's one of the cats that be jumping in the car and driving for 23 miles. At a coffee shop by the finish line.
Yeah. I'm here.
Right, I'm there.
This was crazy.
Throw some water on yourself. I love it. No, that's real, man. I mean, we all know the church world is notoriously unhealthy. Notoriously, even when we're not big, we're still not healthy.
Right.
So
Exactly.
that's big. That's major.
Exactly.
I'm actually up to 4 miles, man. I do 4 miles almost about 5 days a week, and it's hard, and that's hard for me. Honestly, 4 miles is a long time.
Yeah,
and it's
relative.
relative.
I'll bike it, but I won't. I ain't walking it. So
it's relative as. I mean, this is one of the things that I was I was talking about on my Instagram page. The fact that you can get in. I have this goal of running for life, to do it for the rest of my life, just to continue to do it. But you have to have you have to have bigger goals for the next hour, for the next run, for the next moment. You have to continue to have big goals, or everything will become mundane, and you won't have the motivation to really do it. But in order to be better, in order for those goals to really be effective, you have to have little goals. You have to have a goal for the next hour to be better than you were before, in order for those big goals to even matter. Right. So that's even yesterday I was just like, I'm gonna run to this spot. This was a spot like 4.5 miles away. I'm gonna run there, and I know I have to get back. So I'm not gonna call nobody and have them come pick me up. And I'm not gonna take no Uber. And it's kind of a pride thing. There's a pride thing. Yeah, I ran out here. I'm gonna get back home.
I'm gonna get back.
So sometimes you got to do it that way.
I love it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Absolutely.
All right, that's all I got, man. Todd, what we got next week?
Next week, excuse me, y'all. I'm glad I ain't near y'all. I'll be coughing on you. Next week is the second edition of Ask a Black Pastor. We are going to wrap up this month. It's always a fun time. I mentioned at the top of the show, hit the graphic for us, Mike. We'll be doing Ask a Black Pastor. You've got questions. We've got answers. No holds barred. Anything you want to know, about Black church, Black preaching, Black music culture from the pastor's perspective, ask it. Again, if you ask something we've already covered ad nauseum on our show, we're not going to just rehash. We might have some new jokes about it, but we're not going to go all over it again. But think of some questions you have not asked. And we're asking everybody to like and share and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube. Follow us on YouTube. And please don't forget that the audio version will be up within about 48 hours maximum everywhere you listen to podcasts. So there's a billion of them now. You got your Spotify, you got your iHeartRadio, Apple Music, all the different platforms. Wherever you listen to audio, you will be able to listen to this. And make sure you listen to Anson's stories about the hotel in London. and just again, we thank you for donating to our legal defense fund for this. But I'm good, man. Jeff, you want to close us out? We can go.
I appreciate you so much, man. It was wonderful, man. Thank you so much. Please give your brother our love, man. All the family, man. The kids, man. Thank you so much. And hopefully we'll be talking to you again real soon.
Love to do it.
Anson, if you don't mind, man, hang out backstage real quick. We're going to send you a free religiously incorrect t-shirt. So hang out backstage. I can get you information.
Yes, you look like a medium. You look like a schmedium. Are you a schmedium?
Medium is right.
That's what I'm talking about.
Medium is right.
Favorite size. All right, lay it out. Let's go.
All right. Peace, y'all. See y'all next week.